It's been a while. Boys have been on the road. There's a lot that's happened. We got a lot of catching up to do. Ron stepped off, so I guess I'll just have to play the full introduction. So here you go.
It's a trap.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did I break your concentration?
This is the Team of Rivals podcast.
Everything you want to hear from the big sports to the big screen.
He's all by himself. Fires into the end zone. Caught! Touchdown! No!
Long into the windup in his first offering. Just a bit outside. He tried the corner this.
Doesn't like you. I don't like you either.
Time winding down. Michael for three. Yes! She is gone!
I can't believe what I just saw.
Go crazy, folks! Go crazy!
You believe in miracles? Yes!
You may fire when ready.
What?
Good evening, Cubs and Cardinals fans. It's Thursday, June 25th. Streaming live. Follow the show on socials. Pecker smash the like button. Ron, Elliott, we're back. Not messing around with the intros tonight. Too much to cover. It's been over 2 weeks since the three of us have sat down because we got the two road warriors flanking me. Gentlemen, you guys want to bring the world up to speed on your adventures over the last 2 weeks, or are we just going to dive in with speculating on what it is that Dansby Swanson has been injecting and whether or not he's going to share that with Alex Bregman?
It's got to be his new Buffalo Wild Wings commercial.
Is that it? Is there a new Buffalo Wild Wings commercial with Dansby Swanson?
Him and Mallory. It's actually pretty funny.
Maybe I should watch some TV.
I just saw it today. So
okay. Well, in case you missed it, and Ron, I'm sure you did, although I don't know how you could, in the space of 24 hours, Dansby Swanson put together 15 RBIs in 3 games and hit, was it 2 or 3 home runs? I think it was 3 home runs, right?
3 home runs. It was,
one Monday or Tuesday night,
and then 2
yesterday.
Yep.
I got to tell you, Elliott, I was
now
already
leading the team in RBIs.
I know. I was already loaded for bear coming into this just because I don't recall, and then I looked it up because I was curious. I can't recall the last time that the Cubs had 2 games rained out back to back and in different cities. And I looked it up, and apparently it's no. 2003 was the last time they had 2 games rained out back to back in 2 different cities. It was the 80s. It's been 40 years.
Jeez.
So in case you missed it, down in St. Louis, Cubs were rained out at Wrigley on Sunday, and then they were rained out in New York on Monday. And Ron, having watched most of these games the last couple of days, I don't know. I mean, obviously your team was winning, so that softened the blow. I don't know how you made it through the game because the Mets are awful.
I didn't. Yeah, so I went to Citi Field. I took advantage. Actually in New Jersey for work in Hoboken, so I jumped on a very uncomfortable territory for me. Using trains and subway systems. I've just not something I've ever done, especially solo, right? Could have very easily ended up in fucking Wichita, Kansas, right? Taking a wrong turn. But
or on the tracks, praying that the subway stops before you're able to climb out.
So here was the deal, right? I jumped over there. I forgot. I think it was a Wednesday night. I mean, the stadium's nice, it's clean, but it's very forgettable.
Is it?
It's just nothing like. The only thing special about it is the Citi Field logo. That's the only thing that identifies it for me. I mean, it's nice.
It doesn't even have a good view of the city, does it?
No, I mean it's nice, sure, but it's kind of like it's New York. I expected something a little more grand.
Yeah,
just wasn't there. Anyway, yeah, the Mets aren't good. The Cardinals had a good game that night. Jordan Walker hit one. I think I sent you guys the video of that. But that was the game 4 against the Knicks and Spurs that night in New York.
Okay.
Knowing that, I'm like, all right, after the 6th inning, Cardinals were up by a bunch. It was
Get the hell out of here and not get caught up in the traffic.
I jumped back on the trains, but it didn't really matter. I got stuck in a tunnel for about 45 minutes. No Wi-Fi, no cell. waiting for the trains ahead to clear out because it was just backed up. There was just so many people. By the way, not a lot of butts in the seats at Citi Field either. I imagine a lot of people stayed home to watch the next game. Anyway, missing my last connection to Hoboken, I had to hoof it about 5 blocks through Manhattan to get to the last place I could have caught one to Hoboken before I had to get an Uber, and good luck getting an Uber on a night like this, right?
Yeah.
So I made it, but I had to go through 5 city blocks. And I'm telling you, I brushed past maybe 1 million people just out watching the game, like outside on sidewalks, looking into bars that had TV screens. A couple people had like pop-up projectors. It was nuts. And the smell of weed was.
Yeah.
I mean, I think
big cities now, they all smell the same.
Weed and piss.
Yeah. They used to have their own distinct odors.
Yeah.
Not anymore. They all smell like weed.
Blanketed with weed.
But the lad and I were walking through the city, a month and a half ago?
Yeah.
And he was like, Dad, what is that smell? And I said, son, that's marijuana. Get used to it.
And you're
never smell it a lot.
It's going to be one of two things. It's either going to be a skunk or it's going to be drugs.
Yeah.
And if you're in a big city, it's drugs.
Yeah, definitely drugs. Anyway, so I made it back, but my co-host over here on the soccer pod, he told me Hoboken has the most bars per square mile or square feet, whatever it is. Like I felt like every other building was a bar, and he's not lying. And they were all packed when I got off the last train in Hoboken. So yeah, it was a cool experience. I could have done without going to that game, but I could say I went to Citi Field. Check it off the list. The Yankees weren't in town. I'd rather have done that.
These last 3 games, 3.5 games now, were the first that I've actually watched the Mets. And, I always thought, especially this year, because, he's always a little hyperbolic. I thought that Frank was just, being Frank. Oh, no. Ron, I don't know if you caught it. They had 6 infield errors last night. Every member of their infield had at least 1 error. It was comically bad.
Yeah.
In Lindor being finally back off the IL, first hit to him, he juggles it and E6.
Yeah. Well,
actually, now that reminds me, the last time we were together, Ron, we talked about me attending the Cubs playoff game in 2008.
Mm-hmm.
That was the game where the entire, bless you, Elliott. That was the game where the entire Cubs infield had an error. Every member of the infield had an error, and it was one of those. I can't remember who was the last one to get it, but I was watching it. I was like, oh, he must have felt left out, so he felt like he had to botch one. It was rough to watch. So I can't imagine being a Mets fan and watching these guys, which actually kind of brings us to one of the topics at hand. The Cubs made it.
It was kind of that it's cool to pee your pants sort of.
Yeah, exactly. Kind of brings us to the topic at hand, because the Cubs made a trade last night. They rescued, is it David Robertson?
No, Peterson.
David Peterson, David Robertson, the closer. I always get the two of them confused. Cubs rescued Peterson from the clutches of the Mets, trading their 33rd prospect, I think, Cole Mathis, to the Mets.
He was 13.
What? No, was he really 13?
Yep.
Well, I read some other guys who were like, I would have had him.
He was the 2024 second round draft pick, but he was still in single A, but he was doing well in single A, but he plays third base.
He was doing well last year at low A when he moved when he bumped up to high A. This year he's doing above average, but he's a little old for the level.
Yeah,
because he's 22 years old.
He should out of college, so
right. But he should be further along. But anyway, all bringing it back, Peterson's got to be loving life, going from the worst infield defense in baseball to, I think without argument, the best. So he's got to be feeling good, because he's an extreme ground ball pitcher. It'll be a relief to actually have the Cubs have a starter who isn't giving up, although maybe he'll just regress to the Cubs mean and he'll give up home runs by the bucketful. But we don't want this to be all a Cubs podcast. Ron, how you feeling about Billy Sticks getting a promotion?
I don't care. I mean, I know they made a big deal out of it, called a press conference and all of that. That's fine. But to me, I don't care.
Who's the other cat who got the promotion? It's a name I've never seen or heard before.
Yeah, I don't. Me neither. Me neither. And I don't care. Yeah, you're right. No, I mean, it's just. I mean, okay. I mean, you had to assume that Sticks was going to get promoted at some point, right? And he was going to get a promotion. He was going to eventually run things. This is going to be left to him when,
But Dad is still the chairman, so.
Yeah, but have you seen Dad lately?
Yeah.
When 900 years old you reach. So.
Look as good you will not.
I think I think we've got some limited time there.
Not that Ron's wishing that.
No, not at all. But
he's around for decades.
That ain't gonna happen.
Hope he's around long enough to see the Cardinals win a World Series again.
Hey, next year's their year.
Okay. Not this year?
Not this year. Not this year.
You have to give Heim credit. He did already come out just in the last couple of days and said, we're not taking any shortcuts. Don't expect to see us buying on the market.
Yeah. So I and probably 75%, I'd say healthy 2/3 of Cardinals fans would expect the same answer.
And I can't blame him, especially the last week and a half, they've cooled off a bit. At the same time that the Cubs have heated up a little. And so as we went into tonight, although their game was postponed, but as we came into the night, the Cubs and Cardinals were tied
yeah.
second. So still 7 games back of the
damn Brewers.
Brew Crew.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, the lad and I will be at Saturday night's game. So I'll do my best to record a Team of Rivals Peoples video.
Okay. I will be there Sunday.
Will you?
Oh,
yes.
When are you getting up there? Because we don't leave Milwaukee until our train leaves at 5:00.
Oh, geez. We're going to be up there in the parking lot at 10 a.m.
Oh, damn.
It's a 1:10 game.
Oh, is it an afternoon? I thought it was an evening.
No, it's a 1:10. Sundays is 1:10.
Sunday usually is an afternoon.
It's the Father's Day game, so it's my dad and I and my 3 brothers.
Day.
Well, it's gift. I gifted tickets to all my brothers and my dad. So
okay, got it.
Going back to Heim, good.
Yeah.
Good that you came out and did that. Fine. There's another reason I think that probably wasn't stated, because the narrative is we're sticking to the plan, and I think that's the accurate one. But it'd be really bad for them. A lot of teams are going to have to think a lot about this trade deadline, given that it could be a potential work stoppage next year. Now, the rental player deals will happen because this year will play out. But if your hope was to trade and sign, or trade for a guy who has 1 or 2 more years left, you risk losing next year, or at least a good part of it, if they don't get this thing worked out. So that's going to throw a little bit of a wrench, I think, into the deadline.
There will probably be more teams willing to go on the rental if they're not going to, if they're almost positive that they're going to go into a work stoppage next year, because after today's announcement, it seems like they're way off on what the players want and what MLB wants.
Well,
the owners,
the players don't want a salary cap.
No.
And that's where it begins and ends, right? Doesn't matter how far Major League Baseball comes their direction. They could give them everything they want, right? You could have $1 million minimum wage for every rookie, right? No free agency, or, no delay in getting to free agency. No qualifying offers. You could give them everything and say, but we want a salary cap, and the players are going to oppose it.
Yeah.
So I have to say I'm a little optimistic in that we've gotten two proffers by the owners and 1 by the players in the course of the last month. So that's a good thing. And it sounds like they're expecting probably at least one more negotiating session before the All-Star break. So that's
yeah,
at least
because
progress.
usually
They're talking.
usually you don't see this until like the final 6 weeks before the contract's going to end, and the fact that they're doing it this early right now.
Well, they did it.
Pete,
correct me if I'm wrong, but I think they got things done earlier. They didn't want to run up to the deadline last time they had what year was that? Was it 22?
Yeah, I think that's right.
I think they got this done pretty early in the off season. Not maybe not in 2021 calendar year, but they got it done earlier than what anyone expected.
I think you're right.
Yeah. This is the second time they've done that. I don't know if that's going to be a new precedent or not, because this one's, I think, a lot more is at stake here.
I think they're trying to win the PR war. Both sides. Right. I mean, if you read Major League Baseball's release today, Manfred, there was a lot of content of a lot of words in there about the fans want competitive balance. So many teams fans already feel like they don't have a chance when the season starts.
Mm-hmm.
And the only way that we're going to be able to address that is by implementing a salary cap. And obviously the Players Association swatted that away offhand. I don't think Major League Baseball helped themselves with. Did you see the proposal that they had last week for the international draft and just the draft in general?
Yeah.
I don't know what they're thinking. Like, baseball is not like any other sport. The reason there are only 2 rounds in basketball is because there's no actual minor league, and 2, a Shohei level player can contribute immediately in the NBA, right? As a rookie.
Well, and baseball is so it's kind of like soccer, where your international draft is huge because you have so many leagues in Mexico and South America, Central,
But
Central
they're
America,
talking about, so they'll have an international draft, but then they'll also have the regular draft, but they're planning to shorten the regular draft to, I think it's going to be 12 rounds is what they proposed. It's currently 20. And I think that Major League Baseball said 12. Like, are you really going to get rid of the minor leagues? You're going to end up with players who are just not ready for the quality of the game will suffer dramatically.
Yeah.
I think so too.
It's going to be, I agree with what you guys are saying. One, the NBA draft's shallow because, I mean, it's a roster of how many?
12. No, sorry, 15.
15.
But really only 10 play regularly.
Correct. So I mean, that explains why that one's pretty shallow. But I mean, if you look at the contraction of the minor leagues already, I can't remember a couple of years ago how many teams, how many minor league teams they cut back on a few years ago. It was pretty significant.
Yeah, well, there was short season.
Yeah.
And then there was low A, high A, double A, triple A. But then also teams had multiple DSL leagues. There was the air, like it wasn't just the complex league in Arizona. It was an actual Arizona league. So you had
rookie league.
Yeah. And there was no limit on the number of DSL teams that you could have.
Mm-hmm.
The rookie league, that's it. And every team had a rookie. So every team had probably 8?
Yeah,
at least 8 minor league teams. And now they've got 4.
I mean, the thing is, too, so I think it was minor league contraction. I don't know if it might continue, and maybe they cut it back a little bit further. But look, there are just not as many spots to fill,
right?
As there had been. So,
but it's not. I don't know. It's not a financial thing. It's a learning thing. There is no, and I know that part of their proposal was to eliminate high school eligibility, that you had to be, what was it? I think it's 20 years old.
Sophomore, which the draft. Which you got like a sophomore in college.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Still, you're not ready. You're not going to go to double A and be ready to play baseball. It's just, I think the quality of play will suffer.
And that they're really going to deny the 19-year-old rookie making big leagues. It just seems a little.
Yeah. The next Bryce Harper or.
Right.
Exactly. Right.
Chris Bryant was what? He was 19, right?
Yeah. No, he went to college. He was older than 19.
Yeah, so like we wouldn't have,
because he and Bryce Harper were the same age. It's just Bryce came out of high school and he went to college.
That's right.
I don't think it's a good idea. I worry about the quality of the game suffering because they want to contract the minors. Not a good thing. Not a good thing at all. But on the bright side of bringing it all back around, I don't know if you saw it, Elliott, but with the trade of Cole Mathis, a new number 30 entered the Cubs' top 30 prospects list at, I think it's Prospectus. Mason McGuire.
Was that a sound effect you tried to play over revealing?
No, that was a car driving by outside.
Okay, I was gonna say.
So, yeah,
Mark McGuire's son, who's a pitcher.
Mark McGuire's son is now the number 30 prospect in the Cubs minor league system.
Ooh, I did not see that.
Responding to your keen ears there, Ron. I know you know this, I live right across from the main park here in town. And it's on the other side of the tracks, but there's our building, and then there's a school, and then the church, and then there are houses like 2 blocks away. My son refers to this stretch of road here as Elmhurst's back straight. No, it's like it does. At night, it sounds like a drag race as these guys fly down the street, see how fast they can go in a 3-block. If I need to, I'll close the door.
No. It was okay. I had wondered if you had that programmed in there, but that's okay.
No, I don't have it programmed in there, but I do have this.
Oh, that's a fresh of breath air.
So
that's right.
It is a fresh of breath air.
Captured that digitally. It's immortalized.
It is immortalized. It's one of the greatest hits.
Yeah. I again, I kind of feel like I'm falling in this place on the draft. Like, I don't know if I don't think much of that really.
I don't understand why they don't just why do you have to have a separate international draft?
Loop it into one.
Yeah. Just, you have a draft.
Yeah.
Guys who declare can play. That's what the NBA does. I know you're trying to be like the NBA right now. That's what the NBA does. You want to draft somebody from France? Fine. But you don't get 2 shots at college players and then 1 international player.
Yeah, just lump all your money into one pot. And then when you draft, you draft. Whether you draft somebody from Vanderbilt or you draft somebody from Venezuela.
That's right. Sorry. Go ahead, Ron. Elliott stepped on you.
No, he didn't. I was going to say, you expand it back to, I don't know what it is right now. How many rounds is it now? 20.
20.
So fine, keep it at 20 and combine the international, just one draft. Yeah, I'd be all for that.
And I understand the goal is to eliminate some of these wink and nod contracts that they do with these 12 and 13-year-old kids, right? Where they're paying these agents who are paying the kids who are advancing the kids money, and then they get signed, when they turn 16, but they've been committed to this team for 5 years.
Yeah.
Before they've even shown that they can actually play baseball, they're just sort of speculating on their ability. So I don't have a problem with trying to get rid of that system, but I don't understand why you have to have a separate draft.
Yeah.
Like, are we going to have, maybe we should have an Asian draft, and then we can have a South American draft and a Central American and Caribbean draft.
Yeah.
You can have the African draft that'll last half a round because there just aren't any players there.
So we'll still have to walk through the whole bid process for Japanese players at some point.
I had to say, I did see something that apparently the NBA is planning to do for their draft next year, and I kind of liked it. You know how they have the lottery for the first 16 picks? It's everybody who misses the playoffs, right? Next year, the second round lottery order will be the reverse of what ended up happening in the first. So the Bulls, the balls bounced their way and they got the 4th pick in the draft the other night, right? So they would have under next year's system, they would have the 13th pick in the second round. The idea being that, you're trying to spread the wealth rather than, the team that won the lottery, they get the first pick and then they get the 33rd pick, so because with the lottery, the theory is that it doesn't always mean that the worst team is getting the first pick, unlike every other sport.
Right.
But they have a real issue with tanking because, as we were kind of alluding to earlier, in the NBA, a superstar can impact their team much more quickly than in any other sport.
Yep. And football too, right?
Yeah. Well, if it's a quarterback. Absolutely.
I don't want to talk about baseball anymore.
Okay.
Okay.
Are we going over already?
Well, it was like, the only other thing I can think of in baseball is Heim already addressed it. You talked about at the beginning, is this I was been thrown around out there. I kind of ignored it, but is this a front? Are they going to shock anybody at the trade deadline? I scrolled past that a few times today. I'm just like, eye roll, like, come on.
Keep dreaming.
It's one last thing before we transition into the Stars and Stripes. The day game I think it was the day game the other day with the Netherlands fans.
Norga.
Yes.
Norga.
I tell you what.
Did you see that, Ron?
Fans, they know how to chant and cheer.
Well, did you see the video that came out of them rowing in Times Square?
Yeah, it was incredible.
Did you see that, Elliott?
I did. Yeah. Well, weren't they they were on the train too? They did it on the train.
Did they do it on the train as well?
They did it on the train too, on the way to the game.
The one in Times Square was far more impressive.
Okay.
But apparently they're showing up at the doubleheader game. The first game of the doubleheader was relatively spontaneous because obviously that wasn't supposed to have been a game. It was set to be a 6:00 start. So when they made it a doubleheader, it became a split doubleheader. And I guess there's some Norwegian church in Midtown that organized the tickets for them and everything. And yeah, they were awesome.
It was great to hear them during the game doing their chants, and they cheered whether it was the Mets or it was the Cubs hitting home runs or getting hits. They didn't care. So it was super cool to witness. And then when somebody would actually hit a home run or something, then they grabbed onto each other's shoulders and they were going back and forth.
I told a buddy of mine, I met him for drinks yesterday, and I said I turned the game on. I had it on in the background because I was doing some stuff around here. And all of a sudden I heard what sounded like soccer chants. Like, I know I turned on the baseball game.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty awesome. Obviously,
it was great.
Yeah, you have the Dutch doing their thing, right? All that was pretty cool. And the way they arrived at their last game, just flooding the streets with nothing but orange was.
Orange, yep.
But I'd have to say that I still think the Tartan Army won this one. The Scotland fans.
Drinking Boston out of beer, man.
They drank Boston out of beer, several locations.
Proud of my people.
So I don't think anybody wanted them to leave. I don't think they're making it to the round of 32. But
where are they on the third place teams? How far down are they? I know they had a negative goal differential, didn't they?
Yeah,
after they got slaughtered by Brazil last night.
Yeah, the whole thing isn't done yet. The results still pending. They're still going to play up through this weekend to finish off the group stage. So it's not done quick. I think I've got, here we go, standings on the World Cup.
And it's like a 95% chance that the U.S. plays Bosnia.
They are. It's already on the calendar.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah, they'll play Bosnia, and I'm trying to look where Scotland ended up. Hang on. Here we are. So they ended up third, so there's a chance because they're going to take obviously the top two in each group.
Right.
And they're going to look at the third place teams and like the best score, goals, lowest goals allowed, points, that'll determine which of the third place teams go. So Scotland still got
a chance.
They had a chance. They've only scored one goal. They gave up 4. So they'll be on the bubble there.
Right.
But
last night didn't help them at all.
It was great to watch, and I don't know, the internet doesn't always spew out the truth, but when it's a video with sound, that kind of I guess I can't say that much longer in the world of AI, but for everything I see, all the videos that people were taking of the Scottish fans in Boston were pretty legit. And as bad as sometimes you might feel about your home country at times, when you see other people enjoying it this much, it does change your perspective in a good way. So
it does. It makes one reconsider one's alliances and one's preconceptions, and it makes one want to say.
Also, I've seen the error of my ways, and I'm formally renouncing my Cardinals fandom and switching my allegiance to the Cubs.
Yes.
Well, Ron, That's a big announcement for you.
We could not hear that, Pete.
You couldn't?
No.
Oh, man.
You don't have to play it. That's okay.
You know what it was.
I know what it was.
You know what? I know it recorded on my end, so I'll send it out. Anyway, we've already transitioned over there, but it would be wrong if we didn't fully transition. And I'm not talking about the three of us suddenly becoming women. I'm talking about Ron Soccer Minute.
It won't be much more than a minute. Although I've enjoyed watching the World Cup up to this point. On the other clubs I follow at the club level, a little bit of whirl and swirl now. I'm talking about Newcastle. I think they got to the 3-yard line. Imagine that in a football game. And fumble and touchdown by the opponents, right? That's what it felt like last week when Victor Munoz, European player, Newcastle had a deal agreed to. The only thing that Newcastle did not trigger was the buyout clause. They're going to pay his current club a big sum of money, and the player agreed to it. Until Liverpool swooped in and paid enough to trigger the automatic release clause, and the player agreed to go to Liverpool. Victor Munoz. We'll remember that name. We'll put him right next to Isak, an infamous wall. Yeah, so that's the Premier League. I'm learning it the hard way. If you're not a top 6 club, this is what happens. If one of the big 6 jumps in on any given deal, they're going to have more favorable terms. They can pay them more. They're allowed to by rule to pay them more. And they have a lot more trophies in their history, right? So that sucked. That was probably the only thing that was upsetting on a week of vacation. So I guess I can't complain too much. There's a lot of rumors now of Tonali going to the Spurs, and now Arsenal has stepped in with a push for Bruno. So far, Newcastle has not improved their situation from last year. They've lost Anthony Gordon. They signed a backup goalie, which I don't think excites many people. And we'll see what happens here. But if those two midfielders go, it's going to be a rough year. It's already looking kind of scary. Not to mention how scary their new shirts are.
It sounds like you joined the fandom just at the right time.
Yeah, I guess I did. Get what I deserve. I don't know. Maybe I should have picked Liverpool. I hate them. Anyway, there's absolutely zero news on the City front. A couple contracts end in just a matter of days. Cedric Toyshirt being probably the most notable, who's going to depart City during the break. So he's out. He hasn't played much the last couple of years. He's had a lot of injuries. He's dealt with a lot of that. So what are we really missing? I don't think we'll feel it. He was a good player in 2024 when he joined. He was fun to watch, along with Hartle came over at the same time, along with Simon Betcham. So, look, I can't really complain. There's been absolutely no news on the City front, and I think the World Cup happening is going to stall a lot of progress. I don't think we'll see a lot happening until closer post World Cup, when some of these teams fall off. Then they're probably better equipped to be open, for business, that kind of thing. So no news on the City front other than both kits suck that they have right now. So I got to wait till next year.
Ron, what are you going to do between the new Newcastle kits and then the City Gold kits? I mean,
maybe it is me. Yeah, I'll tell you what, the new Newcastle home kit, because they haven't released their second or third. Like, they look a lot better with the Knox logo on them. I don't know if you've seen any of the pictures. Now that they have a proper sponsor on there,
yeah,
it doesn't look quite as barcodey, if you want to call it that. So better with the logo. I still love the one that I had last year. They're 25-26 home kits I thought were pretty spot on, pretty great.
So just stick with it then. Why do you need to change?
Oh, I don't think I have to. I don't know. Maybe the new one will grow on me. I tell you what, the Red City home kit that they wear right now with the dumb collar, Like, this is the last year of it. So we get a new home kit for City at least next year.
Maybe they'll make the gold permanent.
I don't think so.
Soccer's done the right thing to where they can sell you the kits every year that they change because they're not super expensive. It's not like a baseball jersey where you're paying $250 for an authentic jersey.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's true. I never buy authentic baseball jerseys anyway. Yeah, you're right. They are cheaper. I think you can buy like an authentic one for probably $180 now. I think a year ago, like they're pretty much 150 across the board. Prices are going up on everything.
That's a bit easier to swallow than $275 or $300.
Yeah, I remember when I went to Madrid. God, it was about a decade ago on a school trip, and I got an authentic Ronaldo made in the Real Madrid team store, and I think it was less than $100.
Yeah,
no, it was 10 years ago, but still, right? That was when you were paying 150 plus for an authentic without a name on it. You know, you put a name on it and somebody who was wanted, then you're looking at 175 or 200. So
anyway, there's some soccer stuff for you. We'll see.
Nice.
I go to this website called Transfermarkt now. That's like the closest thing to like MLB trade rumors.
Yeah.
But it's for, the global
for the transfer market.
Transfer market. It's pretty funny. If you ever go on it, you can filter down to whatever team you want and see all the rumors, and like 95% of this shit is not true at all.
Bullshit.
Like it's worse than it's at least 3x as bad as what happens over here in the States in terms of that whole process. What?
That's all you got?
Yeah, I kind of lost my train of thought. Basically, I got uninterested in my own story.
Okay. Hey, I know you don't want to talk about baseball anymore, but because he just roped a double into the corner, PCA is kind of hitting without the steroid-induced home runs, although maybe they are, he's kind of hitting like prime Barry Bonds this month. And he was, the last I saw it, he was 19th, I think, on the All-Star voting, which just goes to show that Ron is absolutely right. Fans should not be allowed to vote.
Did you see the American League lineup? Like, there's like 8 Blue Jays, and it's like,
yeah, I know.
Aren't
half the Dodgers?
Terrible?
Half the finalists in the NL were Dodgers fans.
Yeah,
or were Dodgers.
So, and right now, PCA is
nobody's hotter. He's hitting almost 500 this month.
Yeah,
and this is not a Cubs fan glazing him. The dude is unreal.
He's got 2 Player of the Weeks in the month of June.
He's gonna be Player of
the Month for the National League for the month of June. So he has more walks now this year than he did all of last year,
and he had that last week.
Yeah. So it's just he's matured and become a better player. And I tell you what, I love the Keith Hernandez griping on the game the other day about how that trade he said something to the effect of he just rounds the bases perfectly. This has got to be one of the worst trades the Mets have ever made, and we have to watch him for the next how many years play for the Cubs. and whoever their play-by-play is goes, well, at least we had a couple good weeks of Javi Baez. So
That's pretty great.
It was pretty funny. So
that's awesome.
Yeah.
One more soccer thing before I sent you guys this, but you didn't respond to it. But anyway, there is kind of let me put it this way. Like we don't soccer fans in the US, right? I know they're trying. God bless them. This is not going to help pull in any fans. This is a US soccer fan chant outside of an event.
USA.
No, I've got no. Hold
Are you
on.
going to play this
What
for
are
us,
they
Ron?
swing
Or?
it,
off
singing
mute.
"Sweet Caroline" or something stupid?
Hold on.
Because we support the U.S. The U.S. The U.S. And that's the way we like it. We like it. We love it.
Terrible.
Guys,
Terrible.
if you've been
Ron,
now,
you can do better than that.
oh my God. Look, it is I don't know most of these supporter groups personally or whoever started or runs them. I just imagine a collection of just pure dweebs that run these things. And that's why it's, I don't know.
They should just get help from
Chris
some of the
just texted
European
me and he
teams.
said he takes offense.
Anyway, I just imagine a bunch of guitar amps that don't get used anymore in their bedrooms somewhere in the background, along with a bunch of soccer scarves.
Yeah.
Come on, guys, we gotta kick it up a notch or two. If you just go ahead and if you want a good laugh, do U.S. versus UK soccer chants. You know, we shagged your mom, that type of stuff, and then you hear U.S. fans do this, and it's like, okay. Anyway, thought I'd play that. It's pretty embarrassing.
That was inspiring, Ron.
Oh my God.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Boy, can you tell that we're out of practice on this after not having done a show?
Can't wait for the 4th of July. I was really hoping that it would be the U.S. and UK on the 4th of July.
No, that's not going to happen.
No, I know.
Somebody screwed up.
There was a chance, wasn't there?
No.
Okay.
No, those groups are never going to face in the round of 32. No. It would be cool though. Little English revenge there is what that would be. I don't think.
I don't think they would. I don't think they would meet until like the final, wouldn't it?
No, but it would be funny on the 4th of July for England to beat the U.S.
No, or for us to.
Would have been funny.
I don't know. The British have had a hard time in Washington.
Yeah,
I was talking with my buddy last night, who's a former soccer player. He was good. He was really good. Like he got invited to a camp over in Portugal when he was high school age. He was that good. Yeah, he got to play with the or play under Diego Maradona and who was the other one? The Brazilian Ronaldo. They were the coaches for the team when he was there. So yeah, he was good. But we were talking about it and everything, and I said, it's not coming home, is it? He said, no, it's never coming home. You know, because every time that the World Cup rolls around, the UK is like, it's coming home this year. It hasn't come home in 100 years. It's never coming home. And I don't understand why you're so stupid as to separate. You are 3 countries all under one United Kingdom. Why the hell do Wales and Scotland and England not pool their resources and play as Great Britain?
That would make sense.
Right? No. It's coming home. No, it's not. I can tell you already. It's not coming home. Harry Kane's 102 years old. It's not coming home. It's just not.
Turkey and U.S. tied 1-1.
Hey, they're scoring.
Yeah.
So Ron, not completely bored.
Not completely.
Anything else, boys?
Well, we kind of lost our steam.
We have kind of lost our steam. Did you actually? This will wind Elliott up, and we could probably just let him go there. But
there we go.
Ron, did you happen to see the caught stealing on PCA?
Oh my God, that shit was awful.
No, I did not see that. My son he's been in a Babe Ruth state tournament all week. So
all right, so here you go. 3-2 count. Michael Bush at the plate. PCA's on first. Pete steals second base, or goes to steal second. Ball 4. Slides into second. They throw through. He puts the tag on him, and the umpire just looks down at Pete, and you can see him mouth ball 4. Doesn't even make a call. Doesn't call safe. Doesn't call out. Nothing, because in his mind, it's ball 4. It's his base.
Yeah.
The Mets challenge. So they send it to New York, and New York slows it down to frame by frame. and because Bo Bichette was obstructing the base and pushed Pete's hand to the side as he was sliding in, he disengaged from the base momentarily after being given the base because of ball 4, because of the walk. And New York determined that he had surrendered the base, and they called him out. And even the Mets announcers were like, well, that's just stupid. Like, it was by the letter of the rule, was absolutely the right call. But by the spirit of it, are you kidding me? Like, what is going to now prevent any team from blocking second base on a walk and tagging the runner and then challenge it? Like, you don't want to encourage those kind of plays.
No, because they'll do them.
Right, exactly.
Yeah. So dumb.
Elliott, what was your reaction in the moment? Were you watching the game when that
I was watching the game. I was like,
No.
This is the dumbest fucking shit that I have ever seen in my life. I'm like, in the fact that it took New York 5 minutes to review this, you knew they're like, well, dude, what do we do here? It's like he was in the, like, by the time that ball 4 happened, he was already in his slide into second base. So it's not like he could disengage from trying to make that steal, because there was only one out. So it's either he was going to get the bag by stealing it, or he was going to get the bag because it was ball 4. I just that is the dumbest shit that I have ever seen.
I'll have to go watch it. I did.
Especially when the second base umpire was like, yeah, it's ball 4. It's like, I know it's not a dead ball, but he gets the base. So,
and Craig did the right thing, and he got himself thrown.
He got himself ejected. And then I think like the next inning, that's when the Cubs scored like 5 runs.
I think it was 7.
7 runs in the inning.
Which brings us all back to, I would love to know what Dansby Swanson is getting injected with, and I would love for him to pass it around during batting practice, because he's gone from the feeblest hitter in baseball to right-handed Babe Ruth over the last 3-4 games.
Yeah. W.
Cubs on the verge of the 4-game sweep. Wow.
Who are they playing?
The Mets.
That's right. God, how dismal is that?
They're terrible. What are the standings in the NL East? How far out are they?
I think they're now 14 games below 500.
They are, they're last. They're 14 and a half back. And that's, so with the loss, that'll put them 15 back.
15. Okay.
They are the players' argument against, you don't need to limit salaries because you can spend hundreds of millions of dollars and still suck.
Yep.
That'll be the players' argument.
Yep.
Don't throw the Dodgers in our faces. We'll throw the Mets right back at you.
Yep.
And they're not wrong, but also it's the Mets. Like, seriously, when was the last time that the Mets were actually run well?
It's been a while.
All right, so we're 1-1, Ron? Is that it? I'm switching over now.
We are tied at 1. Level, as they say.
Level.
Yeah, I am.
All right, well, I guess that's all we got for tonight.
Yeah.
I'm watching the game.
Yep.
Sorry.
No worries. That'll do it for this week's episode. Thanks for hanging out with us. Comment, subscribe, 5-star review. Follow us on socials. Elliott at
TOR_Elliott.
Ron at
Blah, blah, blah. Let's go.
We'll see you next Tuesday.